It starts with hire the right leadership. Howie Roseman, most underrated general manager. Now he's getting his flowers. But everything you hear about top GMs around the league, top execs, people drafting well, he never got the credit that was due. But if you think about Howie Roseman, since he stepped foot in that building as a front office intern in 2000, then he learned the salary cap as you go through his quick resume. Director of Football Administration, VP of that same role. Then in 2008, that's when he started working heavily in the personnel. After learning the books and how to manipulate the cap. First things first, hire the right leader to make your football decisions. And Howie Roseman is more powerful than the regular GM. Like, he's more powerful than a Brett Veach. He's more powerful than a Mike Borgonzi, my guy. He's more powerful than a James Holmes. Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore hired this offseason, Trav, because of Howie Roseman. Because of Jeff Lurie giving him the green light. Hey, pay your coordinators. Combined to pay him almost $10 million. But Howie Roseman makes that phone call. Nick Sirianni, you're staying, but we got to hire these coordinators. Going back from the draft, I want to start in 2013 when they picked Lane Johnson.
Okay.
They're starting right tackle in the Super Bowl.
Building block.
2018, they drafted Dallas Goedert, Josh Sweat, Jordan Mailata. 2020, they drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round. Key draft pick, though, in the first, it took Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. I'll get to that. 2021, Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams, Kenneth Gainwell. 2022, Jordan Davis, Cam Jurgens, Reed Blankenship. And then in 2022, they traded their 18th and 101st overall pick for A.J. Brown.
Huge.
2023, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Keely Ringo. Keely Ringo, cornerback 3-4 for this defense. And then 2024, drafted Kenyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. They traded for Jahan Dotson. They traded for Mekhi Becton.
Wow.
4 out of their 5 starting offensive linemen, they drafted. Only 1 of their 3 top receivers, they drafted. But essentially flipping that 18th overall pick, which the Titans used to take Treylon Burks, in a way, look, that's a proven commodity. They said, instead of a first-round pick, let's give it up for the proven. Instead of the potential, let's go with the proven in that case. But it's Lane Johnson in 2013, your right tackle. Jordan Mailata in 2018, your left tackle. Landon Dickerson, your starting guard in 2021. Cam Jurgens, who you drafted while Jason Kelce was still in the building. And you let him develop and learn behind a future Hall of Fame center. And those were the guys where they dominated up front. And then defensive line. Josh Sweat, who was playing on his second contract. Milton Williams, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis. Your top 5 defensive linemen you drafted. Just look at the list that we have on the screen.
Nasty.
You know how ridiculous that is? And look, 3rd round, Milton Williams, right? 2nd round, Cam Jurgens. Nakobe Dean injured, was playing well before that. Think about the guys that they had step up. You draft and you develop. Landon Dickerson, a 2nd round pick, being one of the best guards in the NFL. It starts with Howie Roseman and his experience. He's making these calls. And why they have A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and Saquon Barkley getting paid, with basically 17 out of your 22 starters on offense and defense you've drafted since 2013 or key contributors, you can go pay people. And Howie Roseman always knew how to manipulate the cap, Trav. That's the big thing with him. It's a guaranteed money. Most owners don't want to do it because that's the real money. But Jeff Lurie's like, no, I'm fine. I'll give them real money because that gives you space within the cap if it's guaranteed money. It gives you more flexibility. You give all the money up front. Maybe you got to pay for it down the road. But also, that's how you get guys signing bonuses, guaranteed at signing, all of that. You give them guaranteed money. That's how you get free agents. That's also how you get guys to stay. Like, they re-sign dudes. And then at the same time, they're getting them from the outside. It starts with Howie Roseman. It ended with the coaching on the field. But everything you give credit to, this, you know me, man. This is great ownership and great front office leadership. Their 2018 draft class, which we didn't pull up there.
The Eagles?
Yes.
Well, you said it. Goddard, Sweat.
Dallas Goedert. Think of this, though. Dallas Goedert went to South Dakota State.
That's right.
Josh Sweat was a 4th round pick. And I think the best thing of all, and Trav, this is to back up your point about development. Jordan Mailata never played football. He was a rugby player from Australia.
That's insane.
And he credits Jeff Stoutland, offensive line coach of the Eagles, who went to watch him work out at IMG, where he's brought over as like a pipeline, just program the NFL set up to get abroad, which is awesome. Jeff Stoutland saw him and said, we're drafting him. And they took him in the 7th round. And he has been a stud left tackle since then. In free agency, they signed Mekhi Becton.
Yeah.
What was Mekhi Becton with the Jets? A left tackle that they tried over and over again.
Yeah.
And they said, bro, we're going to put you at guard. And you know what? When it's either Lane Johnson to your left and Cam Jurgens to your right.
Right.
Or, excuse me, Jordan Mailata to your left, Cam Jurgens to your right. Or Lane Johnson to your right, Cam Jurgens to your left. You're going to work.
Yeah.
Mekhi Becton, who was just an utter failure for the Jets. They made it work.
Yep.
It is a 7th-round pick in Jordan Mailata. It's a 4th-round pick in Josh Sweat. It's a 3rd-round pick in Milton Williams. It is taking Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter back-to-back drafts, and then Fletcher Cox retiring in 2023 and not having a drop-off in your defensive line.
Yep, they got
It is
better.
Cam Jurgens stepping in for Jason Kelce. Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelce will be Hall of Famers.
Yes.
And the Eagles have 2 all-pro caliber guys in the positions that they just retired from.
That's right.
It's great front office work. It is great drafting. And it is also when you do that, that's when you could spend in free agency. 2020, they signed Darius Slay from the Lions. 2024, Saquon Barkley. Look at him. Zach Bond, all-pro.
Bro.
CJ Gardner-Johnson was a great starter, great player for them. And even think about going back, 2020 draft. They drafted Jalen Reagor. They made the mistake. 2022, they pulled the plug. They said, we're trading for A.J. Brown. We're overcorrecting that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Meanwhile, they're also drafting Devontae Smith in 2021. So
Right.
Jalen Reagor 2020, Devontae Smith 2021, get A.J. Brown the following year. In 2019, they gave Carson Wentz $100 million guaranteed. $100 million.
That's crazy.
In 2020, they took Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round. And by week 14, I believe they benched Jalen Hurts. They said, Carson, we're done. They were able to recover from absolutely whiffing on the best receiver in football now, Justin Jefferson, and paying the wrong quarterback.
Yes.
And they were able to recover.
Yes.
And within 5 years, go to a Super Bowl and win another one.
Yeah. I mean,
Like that. This is one of the most brilliant. And Trav, this is why I give you 3 to 5 year windows. This is why I give our audience, our listeners, 3 to 5 year windows. Because that Carson Wentz contract, that would have gotten other people fired. But Howie Roseman hit in every other room.